is up, my beautiful people? Welcome to Embrace the Journey podcast. I am your host, Alexis Forteza. And if you are a returner, hello, welcome. I love you. Big hugs through the screen. And if you're new, welcome. Please stay a while, okay? It is cool, calm, safe over here. Again, my podcast, Embrace the Journey, is all about mindset, wellness, everyday wisdom, and just sharing you guys the journeys, all of the multitudes of journeys really that I go on, and also my guests that come on as well, because life is not just one big journey. It's a journey made up of many small ones that ultimately shape you, define you, and are trying to curate you into the very person you were meant to become. So if that is you, stay a while. Before I jump into the topic at hand, because I know, although I always said I'm not gonna talk about dating, y'all want to talk about it, so that's what we're doing. But before that, I have an announcement, I guess, sort of, something like that. On my website, embracethejourney.co, I do have merch. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I do have merch. And if you notice, like that one jacket that I have, it's like a maroon jacket. That's literally my Embrace the Journey jacket. That is not for sale, but if y'all want something like that, let me know. But anywho's, I just want to share with y'all that I do have brand new t-shirts and sweatshirts out on my site, as well as notebooks and like a little bag. But here is just a black version of the sweatshirt. Okay, it says Embrace the Journey. This is a medium. I like them oversized, so she big. But I do have a black in my hand, and as well this green color. Honey, let me tell you, this is giving summer and just positive vibes. Where's the front? Hold on. Boom. Isn't she pretty? It brings out my eyes, I know. But yes, those are all on my website. Please go check it out if you want. Embracethejourney.co, and all the goodies and stuff is there. But without further ado, let's jump into the topic that we have, okay? Which is about options. Now, at first glance, you might think, just like I did when it comes to life in general, that options is great. Now, while yes, options allows us to explore our likes and dislikes and things of that nature. However, because we're human and we just don't know how to think sometimes, having too many options when it comes to people isn't really helping us learn how to love, have patience, really discern whether people are good or not. I truly believe that the swiping nature of our culture, that the 90-second clips of the culture, and the fact that you can go on Netflix now and just scroll and find a movie or a show to watch, and if in 30 seconds it doesn't, get your attention, you're on to the next one. I believe that those small habits are starting to seep into our human interactions, which is very detrimental. And I think I can speak for a lot of people. It's not helping. It's pretty bad out here. Now, while I'm not personally in the dating streets, I have gone through enough dating experiences, and I've talked to a lot of friends and people in my life to gather some really good wisdom out there, okay? We hear all the time the term microwave culture, and it's true. That is essentially a branch of a side effect. I'm going to say that's a side effect, right, of the limitless options that we have. And while I will never say anything is bad, I'm not going to say that social media is bad. I'm not going to say Netflix is bad. I'm not going to say that. But anything without boundaries can become dangerous. And I believe we are seeing, even with technology, just that alone, if you don't have boundaries on things, you're going to think that more is better and newer and shinier. And I got to have the newest this and the newest that. If not, and we're taking that into people, yet human beings are way too intricate to be treated as such. Last time I checked, you and I both have feelings. We have a mind, will, and a soul. And why would we even think that treating people like options, like a swipe, like a this, like a menu, is even beneficial? Now, before this gets any further, I'm not advocating that you stay in complete danger. There are dangerous people out here. There are unhealthy relationships out here. I'm not advocating for that. Absolutely leave if that's the case. If you are in any danger or in harm, chuck the deuces, okay? Get out. But what I'm talking about are those serial daters, the people that say that they can never find anybody out here, yet You are the same person that goes on 5 to 7 dates a week, if not more, and yet you just can't seem to find anybody. At some level, you are the common denominator. Anybody who sits here and tells me that they have dated and they're on their 100th and 200th person and you cannot find not one person that you just seem to like, I'm going to have to start looking at you now, because you're the common denominator in all of those things. What this culture is teaching us, of where we have options and endless options, I believe it's teaching us to have no actual endurance. Like, we forget that people are people. Nobody's perfect, let alone the serial daters out there, let alone the people that say, oh, I just can't find nobody. I'm of the belief that any male or female over the age of 30, and that's being generous, has indeed came into contact or has known somebody that is absolutely worthy of a lifelong partnership. The problem is, you didn't choose that person because you had this illusion that the grass is greener on the other side. And it's not. The grass is greener where you water it. If you only put a little sprinkle here and there in grass and you're mad that it's not growing, I hate to break it to you, my guys and my girls, you only put 1 to 2 drops of water and you expect grass to grow? You expect a luscious garden to grow overnight? Where is this concept coming? What I believe, deep down, the root of this illusion of options is fear. Again, I've talked about this, I think, numerous times. I think I've lost count as to how many times I've talked about this. But the world can be summed up in 2 different types of emotions, right? It's either love or it's fear. Everything under the sun can be in those 2 categories. Now, what is different is how it's expressed. Fear don't always look like, I'm scared. Fear don't always look like that, baby. Fear can simply be, I don't want to settle down. I'm good on my own. Or let me people please so people like me. Fear can come in so many symptoms, but we gotta be honest with ourselves and get to the root. If you're one of the people that's watching and or listening to this and you are someone that's like, nah, like, I'm just good. Like, I don't want to pick the wrong person, so I just got to have options. The options give me an ability to see what I want. Baby, I hear you. I do. But how many times are you not going to trust yourself in your decision making? A lot of times people say that they want options and the flexibility of something because deep down they don't trust their own decisions. And if you don't trust your own decision making, you are going to find so many ways and people in this case to make you think, no, it's them. It's not me. It's not a me thing. It's a them thing. It's probably you. And the way that this culture is going in terms of dating, I'm seeing no patience in people. I'm seeing no long suffering, which is essentially patience. I'm seeing no wanting to really build and plant roots with people. Human relationships take time. And something that has really made me grieve lately is the lack of marriages that sound like my parents' generation. When is the last time have you heard people say, oh, we've been married 50 years. We got married when we were in our teens, in our 20s. I'm grieved by that our generation is so self-seeking and we have deferred building a life with somebody and people that we're not going to have those narratives. There's going to be far and few of them, I should say. I shouldn't say never, but there's going to be far and few of those narratives. That's what really grieves me. And again, I get it. Times have changed. Women, we are way more freer in our abilities to do things. We are able to have a credit card and a bank account and a house and a car and all those things. But at the end of it, I'm wanting to, I guess, pose this question. Are us chasing all of these freedoms actually hurting us when it comes to human connection? I've heard it all. As a mentor, I have heard every excuse under the sun. Well, they just, their hygiene is bad, or their body's gonna change when she has a kid, and he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. And I always ask people, have you communicated it, or are you just complaining to me about it first? Because if you haven't told your person about XYZ, that's a problem. You're not communicating. And to think that the solution to your problem is to get another option is the illusion that you're under. We think that getting another something is going to fix our problem. No, you don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to set boundaries. You actually don't know how to trust yourself. So you're so used to running away from hard things that you go, nah, I'll just get another one. Let me just swipe and get another one. When in reality, it's your lack of accountability and self-awareness that is causing these issues within your own life. Also, the word choices that I think our generation fears is, I don't want to settle. You're not settling. Like the word settling, I don't even know where that word came from. I probably should do my research on that. But if you choose to be with one person for the rest of your life, through sickness and health, through rich or poor, you're not settling, you're committing. You're only settling when you go so below your own standards because you're desperate. That's settling. But the term settling down and committing to somebody, I don't understand why that's so bad. I really don't. And see, that's the problem. We have to start taking back words that have been twisted and turned into something negative and reclaim it. It's not bad that you are settling down with one person. If you view that as imprisonment, if you view that as I'm in bondage and I just can't, that's on you, baby. That's on you. And with this whole society of I'm going to go to therapy, I'm starting to wonder if people really are going to therapy. Or are you telling your therapist everything? Because I'm still not seeing it. I'm still not seeing the fruit of it at a large scale. I'm just not. I keep seeing the same excuses. Oh, there's probably something out there. I mean, I don't want to commit because, I saw my parents not make it. And while, yes, if we don't see the example of something in our earlier years, it will be more difficult. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. You just don't want to put the effort in. To use the excuse, well, I ain't never seen it. And I never been around it. That's not the excuse, honey, anymore to be used, especially if you're over the age of 30. And that's me pushing it. I haven't seen a lot of things in my life. The woman I am today, I haven't seen in my family. But I found out, I figured it out. And I'm talking, this is just a blanket statement. If you're someone that sounds like that, you don't want to put the effort in. Because you know that when it comes to a human, you're going to have to remain accountable. And you don't want that. Because accountability takes humility. And humility is the one thing that I think is so rich, but it's so rare. This society doesn't need more options. You need more clarity. You need to get down to what it is that you really want. And you really need to get down and be honest with yourself. Are you working out of fear? Are you walking through life out of fear? Well, I just don't want to choose the wrong one. And baby, that's fear. Because to be honest with you, at the rate we are going, I'm concerned for the younger generation. I really am. Truly. I say all this to give you some thought points, right? These are points that I want you to think about. You ain't got to answer me. If you want to put it in the comments, cool. But these are just a few. Are you dating with intention, or are you just entertaining the possibilities that are open to you so you avoid being alone? On that same token, do your choices even reflect something that you truly want? Or are you simply choosing out of a void because you know that you haven't dealt with that void yet? Last but not least, are you passing up on something meaningful, real, authentic in the pursuit of something imaginary that looks good, that's appealing to the eyes? You got to ask yourself these questions, because a lot of times you are passing up blessings because you're distracted. You're passing up somebody who can actually change your life. Whoever your circle is, if they are feeding into your disillusion of options, you indeed could be passing up a blessing, a good person, a partner, even a friend. But that's it. That's all I gotta say on this particular episode. We'll see where it goes. We'll see what I can expand on. But overall, the illusion of options is killing us. It's killing the idea of love. It's killing the idea of friendship. And it's certainly killing the idea of community. Because relationships, when you're in a relationship, I should say, you are in a community. It's a community of two people. And if we're not creating those communities that are healthy, what are we doing? What are we really embodying? What are we putting out into the world? That energy. Because right now, words are powerful. If all you say is, I don't need nobody, I'm going to check on something else. I need to have the option. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to settle down. You are putting your mouth on those things. Don't be saying something that you don't mean. Anywho's, I love you all. Again, please be aware. If you find yourself having any kind of these habits and these sayings that I've discussed with the fear of committing and just, I need more options, please share this with somebody. And I ask that you really reflect on the questions I asked. Are you really going after what you want, or are you avoiding being alone? Are you avoiding that accountability? Are you avoiding something in here that you gotta fix? Okay, that's all. And until next time, I love you all. Mucho, mucho. Okay. Again, if this episode or other episodes have inspired you, please like and share this with somebody. That is all I ask. Again, all of the information is below in the description. And make sure to check out my site, embracethejourney.co, if you are wanting some merch and some cool things. But all in all, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And again, limit your options. You don't need that many because you overwhelmed already. Anywho's, love you. Bye.